Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving Shorty. The first thing I want to do is apologise for my throat. It's a bit croaky. My rugby team played their last game of the season last night and lost, and I was shouting quite a bit, so apologies for that. But we are going to review something today. We're going to review Hexagon Bridge, which is not the Captain America. I was genuinely thinking I wasn't going to bother reading that one, or reviewing it certainly, but the idea of it's got under my skin, so maybe before I finish work today, I might sneak an extra review in. So if you have thoughts on Captain America, or you want to know what my thoughts are, keep an eye out, hit the like and subscribe thing. It might do it. It might not. I'm making no promises. My voice might be the reason I've not done it. But Hexagon Bridge, what we're doing today. It is by Richard Blake. And when I say it's by him, I mean he's doing the art and the writing, and I like that. Don't get me wrong, there's something about watching two creative forces coming together and seeing how they work well and what they mesh with. That's really, really cool to see. But I also do like that of a sole voice, being in charge, and meaning everything is done with one strict divine purpose towards something, and that's a good thing to do. And it means he's in complete control, and his timing is up to him. And that is pretty much the big issue with this comic book. Now, before we get to that, I'm going to talk about the multitude of things I absolutely love about it. First off, the artwork. It is spectacular. It is hard sci-fi. It goes to some quite dark places. There is death, but there is also beauty and weirdness. And it leans into the weirdness very, very effectively. Has no problem playing around with negative space or not filling the page with bright, shiny things all the time. And his use of geometry and open world stuff, three-point perspectives, everything that I like about this kind of comic book is in there, and it looks fantastic. Individual characterization is also really, really good. It's just a bit of a shame that we are now going to get to the stuff that's a bit not great about it, or at least not great for my personal opinion, is that we don't get much of who these characters are. We get very basic, broad-line introductions to a lot of things. I kind of need to do that when you're talking something hard sci-fi, because there's a lot of contemporary things that everyone's familiar with that you don't really need to spell out too much. You can use analogies, even metaphors. You can have a lot of fun with subtextual ideas about something to explain it without actually having to go into the detail of it, understanding that with a few broad strokes people will get what you mean. But when you're talking about hard sci-fi conceptual stuff like interdimensional travel, how it works, what its purpose is, how people discover it, and how people investigate it, you kind of need to say that's what's happening. It's very hard to talk about that in an analogous way. So we do have to get a little bit of just info dump at the beginning. It's done in a way that's kind of cool. It reads like a narrative rather than just like a Hickman-esque PowerPoint, and that's good. But then we get introduced to the characters who are our focus in this. And there's two main human characters who go on exploring over the Hexagon Bridge, and their child, who apparently is psychic or clairvoyant or something. And we get a brief glimpse at our protagonist, our antagonist, who is there basically because he lives, or they live, I don't want to apply too much gender stuff to this one, I think it's an AI, or something similar to it. They live on the other end of the Hexagon Bridge, and they are quite put out by people who've gone to investigate, because, you know, they're coming into its space. And I can see that, you know, strange people coming in. I can see why they'd be annoyed. It feels like maybe there's a little bit of overreach, like they've responded pretty badly to this, but I can still totally see it. But all that being said, as well written as it is, and it is well written, there's some wonderful dialogue at moments, there's fantastic conversations between people, and the narration throughout is pitch perfect for hard sci-fi. It reads like something that I'd say Philip K. Dick kind of esque thing would do, and it's brilliant. But it's setting everything up because it is conceptually a brilliant new idea, which means this first issue is almost exclusively set up. That's not a bad thing. It's done well. I can totally see why they do it. But more than anything else, it makes me think this is going to read better as a full collection. I possibly would have released it as a graphic novel rather than monthly. And it's not often I say that. I'm a comic book collector. I like getting single-issue floppy comic books. I like having them in boxes in my house, organised alphabetically. But sometimes when I've got the entire collection, I prefer reading it in the collected format, because it's a bit easier to sit around and not have to worry about taking each one out of a bag and the tape catching on something. But in this situation, I think the experience would be better if we just could, after this setup issue, jump straight into the rest of the story. It's left me wanting more. It absolutely has intrigued me, and it is beautiful. And the guy's erudite. There's literally nothing wrong with it as a concept and how it's presented to me, other than leaving me now a month to wait for the rest of the story with so much promise but so little actual context in there. I did feel a little bit like, goddamn, I wish this was done slightly differently. Doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to pick it up. But what I'm probably going to do is not buy this. Wait until the full 5 issues is done. Image Comics is going to release a trade paperback. I'll buy it then. And it's up to you guys what you do with that information. I apologize for the throat. I'm really not talking as quickly or as clearly as I usually do. But that is it from me for now. Like I say, there might be a Captain America one, but let's see how it goes, shall we? Until I see you again, though. Look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.